Hi everybody, my name is Velizar Petrov and today I will present Module 1. The Module 1 is about introduction. The content of the module is follow Unit 1, Introduction of the Concept of Smart Cities. Unit 2, Benefits of Smarter City. Unit 3, Standards and Standardization. Unit 4, Open Data and Big Data. And Unit 5, Smart Citizens. The student will learn the main concept of smart cities and that the municipalities who are the ones implementing smart solutions in their environment. The main goal of the module is to form introductory knowledge, skills, and professional competencies in the field of smart cities. Expected learning outcomes are knowledge of the concept of smart cities, of some basic definitions related to smart cities, of benefits of smart city, of some standards and standardization, and different approaches related to smart cities. Some skills recognize the challenges and opportunities cities face, discuss smart city definitions and what they have in common, skills for independent work. There are also some competencies for learning, for comprehension, understanding, and critical interpretation of the accurate theoretical knowledge, for clear and understandable formulation of ideas and solutions to problems, for practical application of theoretical concepts, for logical, analytical, and creative thinking. Professional competencies in the field of training and development related to smart cities, and independence and responsibility related to the skills for independent work. The city is a complex socio-technical system that decides upon the infrastructure, which in turn decides upon the social life of city. All elements of the system interact with each other and create feedback. Smart cities and communities are helping to tackle urban challenges, foster local economies, and meet targets set in the European Green Deal. The concept of smart city was first used in 1994. Since 2011, the number of publications referring to this subject has grown. This is associated with the emergence of smart city projects and endorsements by the European Union. Smart cities is a term used to describe the use of smart technologies and data as the means to solve cities' sustainability challenges. Many cities are in the process of making themselves smart, using data and technology to improve transport, energy use, health and air quality, or to drive economic growth. Others are being built to be smart from the start, So this is a term that related to the present and to the future. Here you can find some video about introduction to smart cities. A smart city is a city seeking to address public issues via ICT-based solutions on the basis of a multi-stakeholder municipally-based partnership. What are smart cities according to European Union? A smart city is a place where traditional networks and services are made more efficient with the use of digital solutions for the benefit of its inhabitants and business. A smart city goes beyond the use of digital technologies for better resource use and less emissions. It means smarter urban transport networks, upgraded water supply and waste disposal facilities, and more efficient ways to light and heat buildings. It also means a more interactive and responsive city administration, safer public spaces, and meeting the needs of an aging population. To address the challenges and capitalize on the opportunities, cities are encouraged to become smart cities. However, the term smart city is broad and ambiguous, with no agreed definition or consensus on how cities should approach the agenda. A number of smart cities definitions exist. Some have a broad focus, while others focus on technology and data or citizens. For example, the British Standards Institute defines smart cities as the effective integration of physical, digital, and human systems in the built environment to deliver sustainable, prosperous, and inclusive future for its citizens. Cisco defines the term as those cities that adopt scalable solutions that take advantage of information and communication technologies, mean ICT, to increase efficiencies, reduce costs, and enhance quality of life. What most smart city definitions have in common is that they consider the use of smart technologies and data as the means to solve cities' sustainability challenges, economic, social, and environmental issues. Smart technologies can be classified broadly as IT solutions. Data is also central to smart cities, in particular the use of big data and open data. The approaches to smart city initiatives can be classified into two main approaches, top-down and bottom-up. Top-down approaches focus on technology, efficiency, and master planning, integrating data from different systems into a central operational center. Bottom-up approaches focus on citizens and how they can use initiative technologies and innovative technologies such as social media, mobile applications, and open data to create solutions to issues that matter to them and enable behavior change. So, do smart cities already exist, or are they a future aspiration? Smart cities are created, they don't supply exist or emerge, but there is no end point. Rather, becoming a smart city is a process by which cities use smart technologies and innovative approaches to address the challenges they face, helping them to become more resilient and livable. As urban populations continue to grow, the demand for services and pressure on resources will increase. This will put a strain on energy, water, waste, mobility, and other utilities essential for prosperity and sustainability in cities. Smart cities can help us combat these pressures and work towards sustainability through projects such as smart urban transport networks, upgraded water supply, and waste disposal facilities. They also look for more efficient ways to light and heat buildings. Smart cities also mean a more interactive and responsive city administration, safer public spaces, and an ability to react to the needs of aging populations. The European Commission is working towards smart cities in a number of ways, including achieving a smart city digital ecosystem, maximizing efficiency and flexibility, building consensus, connecting Europe, and looking towards climate neutral and smart cities. Cities face complex challenges, but they also offer a setting where people and organizations together can find solutions and opportunities. In smart cities, creativity, innovation, and enterprise combine with technology and data to develop innovative solutions to urban challenges and citizens' needs. But becoming a smart city doesn't necessarily mean being a resilient or sustainable city. Some smart city initiatives are driven by a vision of technology for the sake of technology. They fill their cities with smart technologies, but they are not clear what problem this will solve and have little understanding of the needs of the citizens. These projects are often shaped by large technology companies who want to sell their smart city solutions. Amid the heavy marketing of smart city products and services, it is hard to find evidence of impacts in the real world. Other cities have set out with the belief that smart technologies such as smart meters, electric vehicles, a smart grid, or city control center will solve their city challenges, but concern themselves with working out where to deploy the smart technology rather than first being clear about its purpose, identifying the problem, and then considering whether smart technologies is the right solution. An integrated approach to planning and management is needed if smart cities are to become more sustainable and resilient. It could be describing city resilience through 4 dimensions: health and well-being. Everyone living and working in the city has access to that they need to survive and thrive. Economy and society. The social and financial systems that enable urban populations to live peacefully and act collectively. Leadership and strategy. The process that promote effective leadership, inclusive decision-making, empowered stakeholders, and integrated planning. Infrastructure and environment. The man-made and natural systems that provide critical services and that protect and connect urban assets, enabling the flow of goods, services, and knowledge. The smart city is a complex ecosystem of people, processes, policies, technology, and other enables working together to deliver a set of outcomes. If smart cities want to solve city challenges, their best first step is to bring together city stakeholders, government, business, universities, community organizations, public services, and citizens to explore the complexity of the issues they face and involve them in collaborative decision-making and future planning of their city. The problems different city sectors face are interconnected, and an integrated approach has clear benefits. The systems thinking is a discipline that provides skills and tools designed to address situations of complexity and uncertainty, situations that are difficult to grasp and to manage, and to which there are no simple answers. How does systems thinking work? A system can be defined as a set of components that are interconnected for a purpose that is identified as a being of interest. In dealing with the challenges that cities face, it is often changing to the structure and organization of society that are needed rather than quick technology fix. Changing behavior, the way we live, work, play, will be critical for citizens and cities if they are to become smart. However, technology can play an important role in facilitating behavior change, for example, in helping to reduce energy demand or change travel patterns. Cities are well placed to operate as laboratories where, with the active participation of their citizens, They can explore problems and develop smart technologies, service and business models. Benefits of smarter city. For the citizens, the benefits of this integration of city systems include the following: personalized services, the ability to have the service they use integrated around their needs rather than around the convenience of individual service providers. Access to information. Better access to contextual information to support decisions relating to life in the city, helping them to navigate around the city and achieve their goals more easily. Greater transparency in public sector decision-making process, making it easier to fit in informed ideas and opinions within consultation processes and to hold public sector organizations to account, leading to an increased sense of democratic participation. Support in helping each other more efficiently and effectively. Citizens can use open data to develop and use new applications to manage their lives more effectively and to collaborate to tackle joint challenges together. These benefits can result in a better run and more attractive place to live and work for the citizen, as well as providing them with improved services at low costs. For local business leaders, the benefits include the following: more efficient management by providing them with easier access to more accurate and detailed real-time data about city life and services. This could benefit their business in a variety of ways, for instance, enabling more efficient logistics, more insight into customer needs, and more opportunities for collaboration. New business opportunities to allow them to develop new and profitable services in the city using the widespread availability of usable data. For service providers, the benefits include the following: greater synergies, closer integration with other service providers can enable potential synergies to be more easily explored, leading to greater efficiency and control of the outcomes they aim to deliver. Individualized service offerings, increased availability of data about the needs and circumstances of their customers can enable them to provide more tailored services, leading to greater efficiency and customer satisfaction. New ways to meet customer needs by providing them with opportunities to develop new services that deliver the outcomes they are responsible in a way that better suits their customers, including self-service and peer-to-peer service options. For the city leaders, the benefits include the following: more informed decision-making by providing them with better evidence, enabling them to be more confident in their decision-making and to manage the city more effectively. The facilitation of wider service provisions, the opening up of more useful data to the public can enable other agencies and businesses to develop a range of useful services for the citizen and enable citizens to provide effective peer support to each other. Better collaborative processes, enabling more efficient and integrated working between city stakeholders. Better citizens' engagement, more transparent processes can enable stronger and more positive engagement with citizens and businesses. More positive relationships with other cities. The ability of the city to compare itself to other cities on a global stage can enable it to identify opportunities for collaboration with other cities while maintaining a competitive and edle. In other words, increased connectivity can lead to achievement of better results at lower costs for city leaders. Here you can find a video about smart cities and who benefits. Unit 3: Standards and Standardizations. Standards and guidance documents can describe good practice in a way that makes it easy to know exactly what needs to be done to comply with it, and, just as importantly, to know what to specify in procurements in order to be sure that what is supplied is fit for purpose. Standards are developed by experts in a particular area of interest using a transparent consensus-building process that allows a variety of stakeholders to provide input. On the picture, you can find and see different levels of smart city standards. Strategic level smart city standards provide guidance to cities leadership on the process of developing a clear and effective overall smart city strategy, identifying priorities and developing a practical implementation roadmap, and an effective approach to monitoring and evaluating process. Process level standards cover good practice in procuring and managing cross-organizational and cross-sectorial smart city projects, including guidance on putting together appropriate financing packages. Technical specification cover the practical requirements for smart city products and services to ensure that they achieve the results needed. Strategic level standards are most relevant to city leadership and process level standards to people in management posts. However, even technical specializations are relevant to people in management posts, as they need to know which standards they need to refer to when procuring technical products and services. There are some standards at strategic level. The first standard is about sustainable development and resilience of communities, management systems, general principles and requirements. The second standard is about sustainable development of communities, indicators for city services and quality of life. The next standard is about sustainable development and resilience of communities, vocabulary. And the last is about indicators of resilient cities. Here you can download a link, the role of standards in smart cities. The first standard, ICO 37101, establish requirements for a management system for sustainable development in communities, including cities, using a holistic approach with a view to ensuring consistently with the sustainable development policy of communities. The intended outcomes of management systems for sustainable development in communities include managing sustainability and fostering smartness and resilience in communities, while taking into account the territorial boundaries to which it applies, improving the contribution of communities to sustainable development outcomes, assessing the performance of communities in progressing towards sustainable development outcomes, and the level of smartness and resilience that they have achieved, and fulfilling compliance obligations. This standard is intended to help communities become more resilient, smart, and sustainable through the implementation of strategies, programs, projects, plans, and services, and demonstrate and communicate their achievements. It is intended to be implemented by an organization designed by a community to establish the organizational framework and to provide the resource necessary to support the management of environmental, economic, and social performance outcomes. A community that chooses to establish the organizational framework by itself is considered to constitute an organization as defined in this standard. It is applicable to communities of all sizes, structures, and types in developed or developing countries at local, regional, or national levels, and in different urban or rural areas and their respective level of responsibility. This standard can be used in whole or in part to improve the management of sustainable development in communities. Claims of conformity to this standard, however, are not acceptable unless all its requirements are incorporated into an organization's management system for sustainable development in communities and fulfilled without exclusion. The next standard, ICO 37020, establishes definitions and methodologies for a set of city indicators to steer and measure delivery of city service and quality of life. As part of new series of international standards being developing for a holistic and integrated approach to sustainable development and resilience, this set of standards indicators provides a uniform approach to what is measured and how the measurement is to be undertaken. The requirements contained in this international standard are applicable to any city, municipality, or local government that undertakes to measure its performance in a comparable and verifiable manner, irrespective of size and location. The indicators can be used to track and monitor a city's progress and city service performance and quality of life and assist cities in setting targets and monitoring achievements. In order to achieve sustainable development, the whole city system needs to be taken into consideration. Planning for future needs must take into consideration current use and efficiency of resources in order to better plan for tomorrow. Indicators across following themes: economy, education, energy, environment and climate change, finance, governance, health, housing, population and social condition, recreation, safety, solid waste, sport and culture, telecommunication, transportation, urban, local, agriculture and food security, urban planning, waste and wastewater. Here you can see some example of indicators and support indicators in some of the themes. Unit 4, Open Data and Big Data. Open data that is content data that is free to use, reuse, and be redistributed, subject only at most to the requirement to attribute and or share alike. Big data, that is high volume, high velocity, and or high variety of information assets that require new forms of processing to enable enhanced decision-making, insight, discovery, and process optimism and optimization. Here you can find some video about what is and why is matter big data. And there are some other videos about what is big data and why it is important. And the next is about big data in 5 minutes. What is big data? Unit 5 is about smart citizens. The key challenge around smart cities is not technological, but about people. Forward-thinking cities and businesses recognize the need to review their approach to smart city design and planning, to move away from a technology-led approach and towards a design approach that is people-centered. In this vision, the city will reflect the needs of citizens and the challenges they face. Successful smart cities are making the most of the technologies that enable greater collaboration between urban communities and between citizens and city governments. The success of smart cities relies on citizens engaging with technology solutions, but citizens must also take a leading role in their design, creation, and maintenance. Professional disciplines will be required to work together with citizens to co-create solutions. Designers, engineers, social scientists, technologists, psychologists, planners, artists, and many more must collaborate to make our cities a better place in which to live, work, and play. Here you can find a link for a video about smart citizens provided by Institute for Advanced Architecture of Catalonia. Smart city solutions, products or services can be designed using a variety of design approaches. First could be supplier-centered design. A designer creates a solutions they think city or citizens need. The next, user-centered design. A designer shapes a solutions to the user's point of view. Co-design. A designer works with stakeholders to help them designing a solution for themselves. Co-production. A designer works with stakeholders to produce a solution. And co-creation. This is where co-design and co-production are brought together. Citizens work in partnership with the designer to co-create solutions. There are some interesting approach. The European Network of Living Labs, for example, was established as an independent association of living labs in 2010. It's a non-profit organization and has more than 3,000 international members spanning 6 continents. The Living Labs cover a broad range of issues from cultural heritage to healthcare. European Living Labs defines living labs as a real-life test and experimental environments where users can producers co-create innovations. They are both of public-private people partnerships and employ 4 main activities: co-creation, co-design by users and producers; exploration, discovering emerging usage behaviors and market opportunities; experimentation, implementing live scenarios within communities of users; evaluation, assessment of concept, products and service according to various criteria. On these slides, you can find some recommended lectures and sources, like glossary, some bibliography, and here you can see the partnership and our contacts as a Bulgarian partners, Regional Development Agency with Business Support Center for small and medium-sized enterprises. If you have some questions, comments, and opinions, we are open to answer of them. Please contact us using the website. Thank you for your attention and see you soon.